Quick question. What happens when an amp company makes a speaker? Let's talk about it. Now, Fosi was kind enough to send these to me to review. I'm not sponsored by them, and all the opinions in this video are my own. I'm a vintage speaker person. I like older speakers just because they're cheaper, more affordable. But today I have these guys and I'm super excited to be able to do a review on them. So these guys retail at $399 in US or China. I don't know if it's because tariffs, but they are $499 for Europe. It's a two-way speaker setup, 160 watts max, 80 watts RMS per speaker. I love magnets. On the exterior of the speaker, you have a white PVC finish all around. The rear of the speaker has two binding posts, which you can use regular raw speaker wire or banana plugs. These are Nakamichi plugs. I really like them. No tools. You just strip the wire, put it in, screw it on, and you're set. I did not expect these speakers to be so large. I have some small Minimus 7s I use. I put these here instead, and I like them because they can go substantially lower. 14 inches tall, 8 inches wide, and 11 inches deep. They are very deep speakers, so you will need a large desk or even speaker stands if you want to be able to get accurate sound out of them. I have them shoved against the wall right now, so they are a bit boomier, but that doesn't bother me. The backside has a large single arrow port. It is a pretty large port for just the 6.5 inch driver, but I think they did that to avoid port noise. And I have, no lie, beat the shit out of these speakers, and I have never heard any port noise. So we have a nice wooden magnetic grill on the front. It is a mesh grill. You have this nice metal Fosi Audio logo, and that's it. It's very minimal. And those magnets are strong, so watch your fingers when you're putting it on. On the inside of the speaker, we have a 6.5 inch composite mid-range woofer. The surround is rubber. It's composite because the dust cap is aluminum, but the back side of it is paper. So you have aluminum front, paper back. I assume it makes it lighter to get a better frequency response out of it. The color is reminiscent of Klipsch, but Fosi calls this color metallic orange, and Klipsch is more of a copper. This dust cap is all one piece, where on Klipsch you have a piece of the cone going in, and then you have the dust cap that's glued on. So this is a bit more minimal. I like this design better. It is different. They do look similar. You can also tell with the speaker cabinet, these rounded edges, and it slowly kind of angles in as the cabinet goes back. It is reminiscent of Q Acoustics, their box designs. And I am a really big fan of how it looks. It's just super minimal, even with the front off. But anyways, you have the 6.5 inch woofer, and then you have this aluminum trim cap around it. Then on the top here, we have a 1.5 inch silk dome tweeter. It is a larger tweeter than you would find on any other speaker this size. It means your highs will be a bit more crisp, airy, well-defined. You have this really nice cast aluminum waveguide. It is all completely flush. It's a super nice design, no screws. It really looks premium and modern. And then with that on, I think it would blend in with really any home setup, anywhere you want to have it. I like the orange though, and I like to see the drivers move when I play music, so I keep those off pretty much all the time. If you have kids or dogs or cats, I would leave them on. On the bottom, you have this huge silicone isolation pad, which I really like. Most drivers have like 4 feet on the bottom. This has one slab of silicone. Is really good for isolation, and keeps your speakers from bouncing around if you're playing bass heavy music. I don't have any special tools to show you graphs and charts. I just have my ears, and They sound great to me. They are amp dependent, so based on like the sound signature, the flavor of your amp, that will influence the sound of these speakers. I am powering them with the Fosi Audio ZA3 amp and ZD3 DAC, USB wired connection to my laptop. It sounds amazing. 85 dB sensitivity, so you will want a bit of a heftier amp to get them powered up and moving. Frequency response is 44 Hertz all the way to 20 kilohertz. And I'm not gonna lie, I play decaf music. I've played 20 Hertz, 25 Hertz. Of course, the bass drops off severely as you go below 44 Hertz, but I played 30 Hertz and I can still hear, I can still feel it. I just EQ it up a little bit on the low end, and I know they aren't meant to play that, but I don't have a dedicated subwoofer, and consider it a durability test for these bookshelf speakers. The overall sound though is pretty neutral, pretty linear, I would say. The mid-range doesn't like jump out at you. It is a bit more pronounced, 300 to 1000-ish hertz. I know some of the songs stands out more. The lows are very good. I can feel the bass in my chest, no issues. I can feel thumping, I can feel the desk shaking. And this is a heavy duty work desk, so I really don't even think you need a sub for these. If you want to go down to 20, 30 hertz, 35 hertz, sure, you could get a dedicated sub, but not 100% necessary in my opinion. The highs on this are so crisp and airy and clear. It's a pleasure to listen to, but I can listen to these for like 6 hours, many different genres of music, and I don't get tired, I don't get fatigued. Some speakers I'll listen to, and after an hour or so, I either have a headache or the highs are just a little too ringy. Maybe that's sibilance, I'm not sure. But these don't have an issue. I can listen to them all day. I don't get tired of them. I know it's kind of cheesy, but I really like the grill, just the way it snaps on. I don't know if this is on purpose, but you can stack the grills together and they stick together. So I thought that was pretty neat. Another thing is the 1.5-inch tweeter. I haven't seen any other speakers this size that have those. That is gonna help sound quality in the highs, clarity especially. It'll be able to reproduce the higher notes with less effort. I also like that they went with a rubber surround. There's a couple benefits to having rubber over foam or fabric. It lasts way longer, it doesn't degrade like foam, and it's more linear and way more durable. Also, you use less material when you have a rubber surround, which means the speakers become more efficient. And I don't like foam surrounds. I don't know why companies still use foam surrounds. I also like how low the speaker goes. I know it's 44 hertz, but it hits you in your chest and you really feel the music. It's much more emotional. Now the main gripe about this speaker is lacking bracing. So there's inner resonance going on inside of the box. I didn't see any bracing online when they showed the box. So I would like to see some bracing, even if it's just a square piece somewhere in the middle, because it is a bit. And the last thing is really just a nitpicking, but I wish it would have come in black. And they do offer the dust cap in black if you don't like the orange, but they don't offer the PVC in black. I think all black PVC would have blended in with this a bit nicer, or maybe if these trim pieces were white instead, would have been cool to see. I know some companies like Cerwin Vega, they even have red surrounds, so maybe Fosi could do something like that. These would be great for anyone who wants a home entertainment setup or is jumping into hi-fi and isn't sure what to get but doesn't want to drop a ton of money. You definitely won't be disappointed in these speakers. I will put some sound clips with some different genres of music up now. The audio will automatically get compressed when it's uploaded to YouTube, but if you can watch this in 4K, that'll help you get the best audio you can. These speakers are a bit large for my setting. I am going to be making some custom speaker stands in the future and moving these speakers, but I would really love to see Fosi make a smaller version of this. I think it would be more affordable for people who are looking to jump into hi-fi, and you would be able to put them in more places, more areas that these don't quite fit. All in all, this is their first speaker they've released. There's nothing I can say that's bad that would make me not recommend it to other people. Especially at 400, since it dropped, unless you're in Europe. Sorry about that. There's nothing at that level that compares to them that has the same features, the flush front face, magnetic grills, and it's a very competitive area to just jump into. So I'm kind of surprised that they didn't start with a smaller version of this, but I have no complaints. I love this speaker. It's been my daily driver for the last 2 months. Editing videos, listening to music, watching movies. I have pushed these guys way beyond their recommended wattage. I've probably given them 50, 60 watts over their rated power, and I have not had any issues. So yeah, this channel isn't dedicated to speakers and audio equipment. Fosi was just kind enough to send their products out to me and let me do an honest review. I will be reviewing these amps in another video, so stay tuned for that. If you did enjoy this video, it would mean a lot to me if you liked, subscribed, or shared the video. I will have all the links in the comments or in the description. And as always, thank you for watching.